The bit is now over. The bit is done.
A talk show is quite self-explanatory. A host talks to a guest or a variety of guests about a topic. A talk show is identifiable by the name of the show itself. It usually has the host's name in the title, like The Oprah Winfrey Show or The Ellen DeGeneres Show. However, they can also include words to identify the time of the day the show is taking place, like Late Night with Stephen Colbert, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and Good Morning Britain. With that, welcome to the really late night post-breakfast colloquial conversation about the genre conventions in talk show hosted by Ethan Isard. The avid talk show viewer starts their day with a morning talk show like Good Morning Britain and This Morning. These usually have quite a light-hearted approach to things. They do this by talking to people with inspiring stories and doing comedic things, like the 10-year-old boy who learned to speak by watching This Morning, and Mr. Blobby getting thumped.
Still to come, former Queen of the Jungle, Vicky Patterson, has the latest on I'm a Celebrity, and former King of the Jungle. Did you just punch him? She just punched him!
Sometimes they show very unique people, like the woman who has dolls for children.
A kit that gets painted by professional artists from all over the world.
These programmes also talk about politics. Good Morning Britain has a lot of political and ethical discussions. Visual-wise, the backgrounds are relatively colourful and are decorated according to the time of the year. So, in this festive time, the backgrounds are decorated with tinsel and lights. The presenters usually sat down on a sofa or stool, giving the talk show a more relaxed atmosphere. Many morning talk shows have a graphic at the bottom telling the audience what the discussion is about and also give the time as well. They can also have the weather report and other news there as well. These graphics have contact information for the show, as these morning talk shows have a level of audience interaction with users contacting the show so their opinions can be voiced on television.
Here we go. Listen to this. Phil on Twitter says, lions are natural hunters. So let's let loose all these trophy hunters and let nature take its course.
Yeah. Thank you for your input, Phil. After digesting your morning dose of talk show, then you can move on to the daytime talk show. These consist of the Ellen DeGeneres Show and the Wendy Williams Show. The shows usually start with a comedic monologue. Much like the morning talk shows, these consist of light-hearted topics and jokes with celebrities. They also have inspiring stories. These shows also have more VT footage with comedic skits in. For example, in the Ellen DeGeneres Show, there's a comedic skit where Ellen and Michelle Obama go to the shop.
Are you sure you only want the 30-pack?
I don't need that much toilet paper. I'm good.
This keeps things relatively light and upbeat. These VT segments have the audience as a laugh track of sorts over the top of the video. They also have segments where the host talks about current topics and trends. In the Wendy Williams Show, she talks about what shoes are in style right now, and on Halloween, Wendy Williams looked at spooky animals.
Beautiful. It's super cute, right?
Look at
For
her
a
eyes.
rodent, right? Look at that beautiful eyes, those eyelashes.
Where's the tail?
It doesn't really have, it just got a little tail. These guys live down in Argentina.
They also have moments where the audience interact with the show and ask the host questions. This audience interaction is much like the morning talk shows. For example, in The Steve Harvey Show, they have a segment called Hey Steve, where the audience asks questions to Steve.
Stop it.
Oh, you've been married 5 times?
Yes, sir.
What about the other one?
2. One is deceased, and then I've been married twice. But the situation is, Steve, when we meet somebody, they don't understand the twinness.
Do anybody understand?
Again, similarly to the morning talk shows, the hosts sit down and talk to the celebrities. They also have graphics. They have the show logos in the bottom corner of the program, and they also have their set dressed in accordance to the time of year. In some cases, the host's costume are even influenced by the time of year.
Amazing how closely I match my chair. This is crazy. We did not plan this. And I kind of matched the Bud Light bottle, too.
After a long day of watching Steve Harvey look confused, you can finish the day with a late-night talk show. Some popular late-night talk shows are The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and Conan. These shows usually start with a monologue, however these have more adult humour and talk about political issues. In The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, his monologue contains many current political topics.
Learn something new about ex-Trump attorney and Google image result for regret, Michael Cohen. In a surprise twist, Cohen doesn't want to go to jail.
However, some of these late-night talk shows also showcase some unique people and businesses to entertain the audience. For instance, Conan O'Brien visits Japan and rents a family.
Loneliness is a problem in modern Japan. In fact, there are companies throughout Japan that provide fake families for people who are lonely. I'm not making this up. And I thought, why don't I get a fake family while I'm here in Tokyo?
Much like the daytime talk shows, these have the audience as a sort of laugh track. They also run VT skits and have comedic segments. Jimmy Kimmel Live is a segment where celebrities respond to negative tweets, and he interviews kids to show how funny the kids are. These shows also have interviews with celebrities and other guests. The graphics on these shows are very minimal and have no seasonal decorations in the mise-en-scène. And now, on to our final version of a talk show.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Eric Andre Show is a parody of a talk show, but still is a talk show in its own right. This type of talk show has many common genre conventions from a late-night talk show, like a plain background set, the opening monologues, the interview, the VT comedic sketches, the audience laughing track. However, there's always a slightly weird and horrific spin on all of these conventions. So, to summarise, this parody clearly outlines the common conventions of the talk show genre. Talk shows are mainly done to entertain the audience, with them mostly being light-hearted and comedic, as well as having an aspect of politics in the programme. They always interview celebrities and have a basic background to not distract the audience. These sometimes have VT and comedy sketches to add further comedic value. Thank you for listening.